Welcome to Bible in a Year with Scott Purcell. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is a daily reading of portions of the Bible, following a plan that will include the entire Bible in a year. And now, let's open the book and begin our readings. This is the reading for day 103. If your reading is aligned with the calendar year in a non-leap year, this is for April 13th, or in a leap year for April 12th. The Old Testament reading is from Deuteronomy 19 and Deuteronomy 20. Deuteronomy 19. When Yahweh your God has exterminated the nations concerning whom Yahweh your God is giving you their land, and you have dispossessed them, and you have settled in their towns and in their houses, you shall set apart 3 cities for you in the midst of your land that Yahweh your God is giving to you to take possession of it. You shall prepare the roads for yourselves, and you shall divide the regions of your land into thirds, that Yahweh your God gives you as a possession, so that it will be available for any manslayer to flee there. Now, this is the case of the manslayer who may flee there and live there, who has killed his neighbor unintentionally, and he did not hate him previously. For example, when somebody goes with his neighbor into the forest to cut wood, and the iron head slips from the handle of the tool and strikes his neighbor, and he dies, then he may flee to one of these cities, and so he may live. He does this lest the avenger of blood might pursue after the killer, because he is hot with anger, and he overtakes him, because it is a long distance to the city of refuge, and so he kills him, but he did not deserve a death sentence, because he was not hating him before. Therefore I am commanding you, saying, you shall set apart 3 cities. Then if Yahweh your God enlarges your territory, just as he swore to your ancestors, and gives to you all the land that he promised to give to your ancestors, then if you diligently observe this entire commandment that I am commanding you today, by loving Yahweh your God and by going in his ways at all times, then you shall add 3 more cities for yourselves to these 3. Do this so that innocent blood will not be shed in the midst of your land that Yahweh your God is giving to you as an inheritance, and thereby blood guilt would be on you. But if someone hates his neighbor and lies in wait for him, and rises up against him and murders him, and the murderer flees to one of these cities, then the elders of his city shall send and take him from there, and they shall give him into the hand of the avenger of blood, and he shall be put to death. Your eyes shall not take pity on him, and you shall purge the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, so that good will be directed toward you. You shall not move the boundary marker of your neighbor that former generations set up on your property in the land that Yahweh your God is giving to you to take possession of it. The testimony of a single witness may not be used to convict with respect to any crime and for any wrongdoing in any offense that a person committed. On the evidence of 2 witnesses, or on the evidence of 3 witnesses, a charge shall be sustained. If a malicious witness gets up to accuse anyone to testify against him falsely, then the 2 men to whom the legal dispute pertains shall stand before Yahweh, before the priest and the judges who are in office in those days. Then judges shall make a thorough inquiry, and if it turns out that the witness is a false witness, and he testified falsely against his brother, then you shall do to him as he meant to do to his brother, and so you shall purge the evil from your midst. And the rest shall hear and shall fear, and they shall not continue to do such a thing again as this evil thing in your midst. You must show no pity, life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Deuteronomy 20. If you go out to war against your enemies, and you see a horse and a chariot, an army larger than you, You shall not be afraid because of them, for Yahweh your God is with you, the one who brought you from the land of Egypt. And then, when you approach the battle, then the priest shall come near and speak to the troops. And he shall say to them, Hear, Israel, you are near today to the battle against your enemies. Do not lose heart. You shall not be afraid, and you shall not panic, and you shall not be terrified because of them. For Yahweh your God is going with you to fight for you against your enemies to help you. And the officials shall speak to the troops, saying, Who is the man who has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to this house, so that he does not die in battle, and another man dedicates it. And who is the man that has planted a vineyard and has not enjoyed it? Let him go, and let him return to his house, so that he does not die in battle, and another man enjoys it. And who is the man who got engaged to a woman and has not married her? Let him go, and let him return to his house, so that he does not die in battle, and another man marries her. And the officials shall continue to speak to the troops, and they shall say, What man is afraid and disheartened? Let him go, and let him return to his house, and let him not cause the heart of his brothers to melt like his. And when the officials have finished speaking to the army troops, then they shall appoint commanders of divisions at the head of the troops. When you approach a city to fight against it, you must offer it peace. And then, if they accept your terms of peace and they surrender to you, and then all the people inhabiting it shall be forced labor for you, and they shall serve you. But if they do not accept your terms of peace, and they want to make war with you, then you shall lay siege against it. And Yahweh your God will give it into your hand, and you shall kill all its males with the edge of the sword. Only the women and the little children and the domestic animals and all that shall be in the city, all of its spoil you may loot for yourselves, and you may enjoy the spoil of your enemies that Yahweh your God has given to you. Thus you shall do to all the far cities from you, which are not from the cities of these nations located nearby. But from the cities of these peoples that Yahweh your God is giving to you as an inheritance, you shall not let anything live that breathes. Rather, you shall utterly destroy them, the Hittites and the Amorites, the Canaanites and the Perizzites, the Hivites and the Jebusites, just as Yahweh your God has commanded you, so that they may not teach you to do like all their detestable things that they do for their gods, and thereby you sin against Yahweh your God. If you besiege a town for many days to make war against it in order to seize it, you shall not destroy its trees by wielding an axe against them, for you may eat from them, and so you must not cut them down. Are the trees of the field humans, that they should come and siege against you? Only the trees that you know are not fruit trees you may destroy, and you may cut down, and you may build siege works against that city that is making war with you until it falls. The New Testament reading is from Luke 15, verse 1 through verse 32. Luke 15:1. Now all the tax collectors and the sinners were drawing near to hear him. And both the Pharisees and the scribes were complaining, saying, This man welcomes sinners and eats with them. So he told them this parable, saying, What man of you, having 100 sheep, and losing one of them, does not leave the 99 in the grassland, and go after the one that was lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he places it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he returns to his home, he calls together his friends and neighbors, saying to them, Rejoice with me, because I have found my sheep that was lost. I tell you that in the same way there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous people who have no need of repentance. Or what woman who has 10 drachmas, if she loses 1 drachma, does not light a lamp and sweep the house and search carefully until she finds it? When she has found it, she calls together her friends and neighbors, saying, "Rejoice with me, because I have found the drachma that I had lost." In the same way, I tell you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. And he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, "Father, give me the share of the property that is coming to me." So he divided his assets between them. And after not many days, the younger son gathered everything and went on a journey to a distant country. And there he squandered his wealth by living wastefully. And after he had spent everything, there was a severe famine throughout that country, and he began to be in need. And he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, and he sent him into his field to tend pigs. And he was longing to fill his stomach with the carob pods that the pigs were eating, and no one was giving anything to him. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired workers have an abundance of food, and I am dying here from hunger? I will set out and go to my father, and I will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired workers.' And he set out and came to his own father. But while he was still a long way away, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and embraced him and kissed him. And his son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But his father said to his slaves, 'Quickly, bring out the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet, and bring the fattened calf. Kill it and let us eat and celebrate. Because this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' And they began to celebrate. Now his older son was in the field. And when he came and approached the house, he heard music and dancing. And he summoned one of the slaves and asked what these things meant. And he said to him, 'Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fattened calf because he has gotten him back healthy.' But he became angry and did not want to go in. So his father came out and began to implore him. But he answered and said to his father, 'Behold, so many years I have served you, and have never disobeyed your command. And you never gave me a young goat so that I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours returned, who has consumed your assets with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him.' But he said to him, 'Child, you are always with me, and everything I have belongs to you. But it was necessary to celebrate and to rejoice, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive, and was lost and is found.'" The wisdom literature reading is from Psalm 45, verses 1 through 9. Psalm 45, 1. For the music director, according to the lilies of the sons of Korah, a maskil, a song of love. My heart is moved with a good word. I recite my compositions to the king. My tongue is the pen of a skilled scribe. You are the most handsome of the sons of mankind. Grace is poured out on your lips. Therefore, God has blessed you forever. Gird your sword on your thighs, O mighty one, in your splendor and your majesty. And in your majesty ride victoriously because of truth and humility and righteousness. And let your right hand teach you awesome deeds. Your arrows are sharp. Peoples fall under you in the midst of the king's enemies. Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of uprightness is the scepter of your kingdom. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. Therefore, God, your God, has anointed you from all your companions with festive oil. All your robes are scented with myrrh and aloes and cassia. From palaces of ivory, stringed instruments gladden you. King's daughters are among your noble ladies. The queen stands at your right hand in gold of Ophir. This concludes the reading for day 103. Thank you for listening. These daily readings are made possible by your generous support of the Global Outreach Ministry of Scott Purcell. To partner with us and enable this work and others like it, please visit huttobible.com/give and select Go Pastor Support from the fund list. You can also sign up for ministry updates at scott-purcell.epistle.org/subscribe. Both of those links can be found in the podcast description. Thank you for helping us share God's Word.